You ever wonder how to do stage combat? Well, we're gonna show you how. An active hand is the non-weapon bearing hand used to block, check, lock, parry, strike, or trap the opposing weapon or parts of a partner's body. The attacker, also called the aggressor, is the actor or combatant who initiates the offensive action or attack. The center line is an imaginary line that bisects the body. The horizontal center line is the imaginary line that bisects the body at waist level. The center line demonstrated earlier, as such, was the vertical center line. A cue is a physical action or an event that is a signal for someone to do something. Cue, reaction, action is a basic stage combat principle used to achieve a safe and dramatically effective sequence of events. Distance is the proper measure between two or more combatants to safely execute any particular technique in stage combat. En garde is the basic physical ready position of a combatant. Eye contact is a look to one's partner to assure mutual awareness and readiness to participate. Avoidance is to dodge an attack. Block is a defensive action intended to stop a punch, kick, or similar attack. A block can be made on either side of the body and in all lines. These may be as follows. In a check, the defender places a hand on the aggressor's attacking limb to control the movement of that limb. It does not stop the movement of that aggressor's limb. A cross block, also called an X block, is where both arms are used together. They are crossed at the forearms, one over the other, catching the attacking limb where the forearms meet the hands. A descending block is when hands move downward to defend against an ascending diagonal or vertical attack. The forearm block is a block made with the inside or outside of the forearm, avoiding bones and joints. An inside block is made on the opposite side of the body from the defending hand or arm. And an outside block is made on the same side of the body as the defending hand or arm. A break fall is any maneuver that dissipates the energy or force from a fall or roll, giving the illusion of impact. A chokehold, also called a strangle, is any grasp or hold on the area of the throat made with hands or limbs. A contact strike is any offensive reaction that strikes the body of the receiver. A duck is the vertical lowering of the head and torso to avoid an attack at the head. An elbow attack is an offensive technique made to look as though striking with the elbow. An expulsion is using the energy and movement of a check to throw or fling the opposing arm and/or weapon aside. A fall is any technique that allows a combatant to safely drop from a standing or elevated position to the floor, landing on some part of the body other than the feet. A feint attack is an attacking action made without intending to hit and designed to draw a reaction or parry from an opponent. Grappling, also called struggling, is using body weight, grips, and leverage to control one's opponent while in extremely tight distance. A hair pull is a grasp with one or both hands in which the victim's hair appears to be clasped in the fingers. A kick is any offensive striking technique made with the leg or the foot. It may include an axe kick, which travels downward and would impact with the heel. A back kick, which travels directly backwards. A crescent kick, which travels in a semicircular arcing path that would impact with the edge of the foot. A front kick, which travels directly forward. A heel hook kick traveling in a circular path, generally executed in a horizontal plane that would impact with the heel or sole of the foot. A roundhouse kick, which travels in a circular path from a chambered position of the knee, generally executed in a horizontal plane. And a side kick that travels out from the side of the body A nap is a technique for creating the sound and impact of a strike. A body nap, also called self-nap, is a percussive sound made by striking a major muscle group on the body. A cage nap is a percussive sound made by physically connecting with their partner's crossed and slightly cupped hands. A clap nap is a percussive sound made by one combatant that claps their hands together. A shared nap, also called partner nap, is a percussive sound requiring participation of both combatants. A knee attack is an offensive technique made to look as if it strikes with the knee. A lock is to immobilize your partner at their joints. A non-contact strike is any offensive action that creates the appearance of contact with the intended target of the body of the receiver. A punch is any striking technique made with a fist. It may include, but is not limited to, a back fist made with the back of the hand. A cross that travels across the attacker's center line from either right to left or left to right. Hammer punch, an attack made with the blade side of a closed hand. Hook, delivered with one arm, fist in half supination, elbow bent at 90 degrees. A jab, linear in and out action delivered from the leading hand. Rabbit punch, a sharp chopping delivery downward with the edge of the fist in a diagonal plane, often to the back of the neck. A roundhouse punch is a large dynamic wide arc from either right to left or left to right. A stomach punch is delivered toward the abdomen of the victim, may be either contact or non-contact. A straight punch is linear and delivered from the rear or back shoulder. And an uppercut is a punch delivered in the bent arm in an upward motion. A roll is any technique in which the body is safely turned on the floor, may be executed forward, backward, or sideways. A barrel roll is sideways, body fully extended. And a dive roll is taking air before committing the shoulder roll. A roll is a two-person barrel roll or two-person shoulder roll. And a shoulder roll is on a diagonal from one shoulder to the opposite buttock. A slap is a strike delivered with an open hand. A throw is a move in which the defender is propelled to the ground. And a trap is any technique that immobilizes an opponent's limbs and/or weapons in order to effect or disarm. A flip is an offensive movement that controls the victim's center, lifting them off their feet and taking them to the ground. Attacks on the blade are actions used to remove or displace the opposing blade before an effective offensive action can be launched. A glissade is an attack on the blade made by sliding down the opponent's blade, keeping it in constant contact. And a beat attack is a sharp tap with the forte or middle part of one's sword. A pommel attack is any offensive action delivered with the pommel.
Motherfucker.
A punto mandriti is a thrusting attack delivered from the attacker's outside line. And a punto reverso is a thrusting attack delivered from the attacker's inside line. A riposte is a return attack made by a defender immediately following a successful parry. A slash is an attack made with the edge of the blade that is avoided. The most common are horizontally at head level, horizontally across the midline, and diagonally. A thrust is an attack made with the point of the weapon. A trap is any technique that immobilizes an opponent's limbs and/or weapons. Avoidance is a movement of the body and/or feet vertically, horizontally, or diagonally to dodge an attack. Ducking is the vertical lowering of the head and torso to avoid an attack at the head. A parry is a defensive action which blocks or deflects an attack. A beat parry is deflecting the incoming attack with a sharp striking motion. A hand parry is a method of defense where the active hand is used to deflect or block the opposing weapon. An opposition parry is a simple defensive action made by meeting the attack with the defending weapon. A yield parry is a parry made from engagement where the blades remain in contact throughout. The butt end is the trailing end of the staff in the on guard position, and the fore end is the leading end of the staff in the on guard position. The long form is the hand placement that utilizes the full length of the quarterstaff for attack and defense, grip holding from the lower third to the butt end. The middle is the central third of the staff. Advance is linear footwork that carries the body forward by moving the lead foot first, followed by the rear foot, without crossing them. Balestra is a compound piece of linear footwork carrying the body forward by executing a jump and a lunge in quick succession. A demi-volte is a volte turning the hips 90 degrees in relation to an attack. A grand volte is a volte turning the hips 180 degrees in relation to the attack. A lunge is the extended leg position used as a method to reach the partner on an attack. The leading leg extends in a long step while the back leg straightens and the back foot stays in place. A pass step is the placing of the moving foot ahead or to the rear of the stationary foot without crossing the center line. Patinando is a compound piece of linear footwork carrying the body forward by executing an advance and a lunge in quick succession. A pivot is the adjustment of the hips, feet, and body to face a new direction. Retreat is linear footwork carrying the body backwards by moving the rear foot first, followed by the lead foot. A recover is carrying the body to an on-guard position from a lunge. A slip step is when the moving foot slips behind the stationary foot. A thwart is the same body action as the lunge, used in conjunction with a defensive action. A traverse is an advance or retreat in any direction. A volte is circular footwork which removes the body from the line of attack by swinging one foot behind the other, turning the body.